This video is going to be a look at the Ravens pass rush and Sunday's win over the Jets on the road. Spearheaded really by Justin Houston, if you ask me, but everyone was involved. My first part of this monologue or intro is going to be about Houston. I love how the Ravens prioritized pass rush situations with him. I don't exactly know his snap count, to be honest with you. I'm not going to pretend to. But what I know from watching the game is it seemed like Houston was on the field in more what you would consider obvious passing downs. Owe, Harrison, to a lesser extent, Stephen Means, and even some of our 4-3 looks where Campbell or somebody was playing the weak side 5 technique. It looked like in those balanced situations, at least in terms of what you would expect the offense to run, either run or pass, we had other guys on the field. Houston was generally being used as a pass rush player, at least from what I could tell. Later on in the game, he was involved in a couple of run plays. But what I'd like to do is show you the end zone angle film, 10 plays, show you the improvement in some of our guys in terms of their pass rush. Justin Madubuike for sure. I think Pierce came here with improved pass rush skills already based upon his first time, as a Ravens player. Houston, the matchup against Fant, I wasn't surprised that he was able to beat him. And I thought Fant got better as the game went on and won a larger share of the reps as the game progressed. But what did surprise me was how easily Houston beat Fant on his inside moves. Because for Houston, it's like a patented thing. I mean, he has all the moves. He's a classic pass rusher with 100-plus career sacks now at this point. But his inside move is the thing that I thought Fant wouldn't have so much trouble with, and he really did. I'm going to show you 10 plays, like I said, end zone angle only. Some of them are labeled. This first one is not. This is Calais Campbell's sack that was eventually ruled intentional grounding by Flacco. What I love about the way the pass rush worked out for the Ravens this week is that sometimes it was one guy getting the initial pressure and then the second guy getting credit for the sack. You can see what Madubuike is doing here. I thought he had his way and a lot of reps with these guards, driving this guard back into Flacco's lap, forcing Flacco to move out to his right, our left on the screen. And then Campbell secondarily gets there for the hit. Huge hit. That was a scary hit from a Jets perspective. If you wanted Flacco to stay in the game, I thought it could have easily been ruled a fumble. But in any case, second rep, and these are not all going to be good ones, to be honest with you. One of the things I wondered about was Owe's cleats or something. He was slipping and sliding a lot. He's over here on the right. Houston's going to be on the left. Houston does his smooth little hand swipe here on the right tackle. He gets upfield, not too much. I'm not saying he got upfield too much. Flacco just stayed short in the pocket, so it doesn't work. But this is a nice move by Houston, stabbing with his right hand in the middle of the chest. Always doing that like Yannick Ngakoue jump step, and when he tries to replant here, he slips and slides down. And I thought I saw that like 3 times, not just on pass plays. Obviously, it's a drop. Ball could have easily been caught and then possibly intercepted by Humphrey. All right, one of the situations where we're dropping Owe into the hook, and then Humphrey is blitzing. Queen is occupying the center. Houston is occupying the tackle, and all we're doing that for, I think, is to isolate Pierce on that left guard. There you see what I mean? We've got Houston on the tackle, Queen occupying the center, and I love how this works out for us because the back ends up going to pick up Humphrey, and then it's mission accomplished for us. Pierce takes the guard, dumps him in Flacco's lap. Flacco has to spin out. Queen gets a quarterback hit. It's rugged in there. It's obviously we got missed tackles here, and Garrett Wilson almost gets the first down. So great play by Flacco. But we're talking about the rush that we had. I love the design, in that we're bringing 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But we're getting the matchups that we want here. And I really, truly think this is designed to get Pierce, this one-on-one, that's the point of the rush, to be honest with you. I think we could have better coverage out here to the flats on Garrett Wilson. Once this play breaks down, I'm not sure who it was supposed to necessarily be with him. I suspect it might have been Kyle Hamilton because he does have that habit that a lot of young players have, which is, looking at the quarterback once the play breaks down. Sacked by Houston on an inside move, again against Fant. Gets his hands on him, just slides by him. He's like a ninja with his hands, man, if you ask me. Once he decides to get off a blocker, he's almost unstoppable. At least in this game. Thought he did a great job, one more fight in him. I hope you guys like the title. Those old guys always say that where I'm from. They say, "Oh, I got one more fight in me for you, youngin." All right, quick pass out into the flats or the right side, and we're getting the running back chipping Owe. It looked like Owe was a little unsure when he was unblocked initially, and then he takes off, and the running back hits him low. So no pressure. We're not getting pressure all the time. One of the things about Houston and his ability to use the inside rush often is, we'll run him into the B gap and then bring a safety off the edge. That's been in every system, but ours, for years as well, even under Wink. And then we're zone dropping Campbell and Pierce, who of course hustles over here and forces the fumble. Great play by Marcus Williams to make contact, kind of hold him up, and then Pierce on the fumble. He's a revelation, man. A revelation. All right, I believe Steven Means wins this first, and then it's Matabike and Queen, I think, who split the sack. I'll show you a couple times. Means is singled up on the tight end, and you can see he gets the upfield rush, forces Flacco to step up. Well, why? First of all, it's a great job by Means to win, even though, he only gets a slap on the quarterback. But why is he able to win? Because Matabike has been such a terror that they're devoting 2 guys to Matabike on this play. Is that because it's Matabike? I don't know. I just know that's how it worked out. You can see it here. You definitely have what looks like a double team on Matabike. Means one-on-one with the tight end, and we win that matchup. This reminds me, in terms of our pass rush, of like a basketball team with like 7 or 8 guys who can shoot and score. If you take away one option, a second option can beat you. Play action, big completion to Moore. This is not really related to the pass rush because, it is play action, but Bynes, a little bit more classical, staying square, turns and tries to get under it. He's late, but watch how far advanced and far wrong Queen is before he realizes that it's pass. He's already into the line. He's already behind the line of scrimmage, and then turns around, tries to get back to his drop. I don't know that this route's going to be defended by either guy, to be honest with you. Just illustrating the difference between the technique that they both have, probably just in terms of the number of reps they've had in their lifetime. All right, Marcus Williams on the blitz. Houston with the pressure, can't catch him. Campbell actually gets credit for a sack here, which is crazy. But hey, I think that's karma for the one earlier in the game when he should have been credited with a sack, and they rule the intentional grounding on Flacco. My only concern is, what do we have here off this edge? I think that's Queen. I could be wrong, because Houston is a B-gap rusher. So I know Houston's lined up outside the tackle, but he's a B-gap rusher. You watch. Yeah, it looks like to me it is Queen. So Queen looks like he's supposed to be the edge rusher. Williams blitzes through, and I just don't think Queen is holding that edge. I'm not sure what he's doing, to be honest with you. You'll see him here. He's going to come down, make contact, and then go this way. I don't know. It doesn't look like to me it's a stunt, a loop stunt or anything. Maybe Campbell's supposed to loop around. But in any case, we give up the edge, and Houston, who's a B-gap player, and that's not the QB contain player, Houston, who's a B-gap player, ends up being the guy to try to contain him. All right, Matabike and Queen. Look at Matabike putting the center on the train tracks. Just so violent. I love this little twist that they do, him and Campbell. Not a huge fan of Campbell at nose tackle, but I love when they do this stuff. And they switch it because even if, and the center and right guard do a nice job, don't get me wrong, they pass it off. But watch Matabike say, okay, you want to pass it off? I'm just going to drive you back into the quarterback's lap. He can do this. I have other film from 2021 of him in his bull rush, and for whatever reason, his pad level looks lower this year. I'm not sure if it's because he's twisting here, but in any case, he's not nearly as high in his pass rush, and I think you've got to give a lot of credit to Weaver for the development of certain guys' pass rush, particularly Matabike. Houston with a hit on the quarterback from our right side, beating Fant. Actually, I think I've got the order wrong here. I think this is earlier in the game, but he's here. Just kind of gives this little jump stop and then beats Fant on the inside. Huge hit. And I thought that really could have been ruled a forced fumble. The only guy that I didn't see get involved with the pass rush more was Urban, but I didn't think he played bad. I just think so many guys were in there. Houston, Pierce, Campbell, Owe, I guess. Owe was credited with like 4 or 5 pressures, I thought, but I could be wrong on that. I love the balanced nature of the pass rush. I really do. You know, are we going to get one guy with 13 sacks this year? It doesn't look like it, just based on this game. A small sample size, though, for real. You know, certainly you could have a guy go off and get 2 or 3 games where he has 2 sacks each or 1.5. But it looks like we have multiple guys. We're going to rotate them and try to wear down the offensive line. And my proof of that is this. They ran 62 pass plays, I think, or 63. Officially ended up being 59 for, penalties or whatever. Statistically, 59, I think. Our D-line did not seem to get worn down. Normally, you would expect our pass rush guys to get worn down if there's that many pass attempts. And they didn't seem to. I think that's because, A, we're being rotated. And also, this is something I touched on in a podcast Monday night with Ken at Film Study Ravens. We're not doing these elaborate long stick twists where you're lining up in the C gap and you're stunting to the other side A gap on a scrape. Think about efficiency of movement. If you've got to pass rush violently for 3 seconds or 4 seconds, and you've got to do that stunt numerous times as well, I think that can impact your conditioning. I do. Because it's inefficient use in terms of how you're rushing the passer. Now, if it's successful, wonderful, great. But my point is, going in a straight line, not exactly a straight line, this is an oversimplification, but rushing from your 3 technique in the B gap and trying to defeat that guard 12, 14, 15 times is a more efficient use of your energy and your cardio than it is to have 5 of those rushes that I just described and then 6 or 8 elaborate stunts where you're twisting or picking someone. Not saying there's not a time for those things, but I feel like in recent years, and I didn't even describe it this way, but I understand it now after watching this first game, I think, that we had an inefficient use of our energy level at our first line defenders against the pass. I'm talking about our interior D-line and our edge rushers. Inefficient usage because of the scheme, because of the over-reliance on created pressures. This seems to be a more efficient use of our guys' energy level. Now you do see a couple of twists and stunts here, and you do see blitzes. But blitzes and stunts are not the same thing. So I love what I see. Are we going to get 6 sacks and so many quarterback hits every week? Probably not. But some of the teams we face soon, they're not exactly great pass pro teams either. And this Jets, like Ken pointed out on that podcast that I appeared on Monday night, this Jets offensive line, especially the interior guys, is supposed to be pretty highly rated. Fant as well. They've all been paid well, and they're a quite expensive offensive line. Appreciate you guys watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll have another video coming out later on the possession where the Ravens, where Lamar hits Bateman on a 55-yard touchdown, and how the Ravens were basically using the early possessions in the game to lull the Jets into a sense of complacency before punishing them with the big pass plays, the 2 to Duvernay and the 1 to Bateman. Appreciate you guys checking out the video. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so now. And if you really enjoyed this content today, please consider sharing it on social media to help my videos get more reach.